In the heart of a bustling city, there lived a young man named Ethan Parker. Ethan wasn't like most people his age. While his friends spent their afternoons playing basketball, skateboarding down the streets, or hanging out at the corner cafe, Ethan preferred to stay at home. He found solace in organizing his things, cleaning his space, and planning his day with precision. His friends would often tease him about his obsession with neatness. "Ethan, you're always at home, man. Come on, let's go grab a drink," his friend Jason would say, elbowing him in the ribs. Good. You guys enjoy yourselves," Ethan would reply with a polite smile. "I've got some organizing to do." His room was spotless. Every book on the shelf was perfectly arranged by genre, every shirt hung neatly in the wardrobe, and even his desk was free from any clutter. He would spend hours rearranging the books on his bookshelf, making sure that each one was in the perfect position, that nothing was out of place. To his friends, this obsession with order seemed excessive, even weird, but to Ethan it was his sanctuary. His home was a reflection of who he was. Precise, orderly, and methodical. He loved the way everything seemed to fit into place when he was in control. One evening, at a mutual friend's party, Ethan met her, Olivia Harper. She was not just beautiful but also intelligent and charming. She had a way of commanding attention without trying. Her long dark hair flowed effortlessly over her shoulders, and her presence seemed to light up the room. Ethan had noticed her from the moment she stepped into the party, but it wasn't until their eyes met across the crowded room that he felt something inside him stir. "Hey, Ethan! You're not even drinking anything," Jason shouted, pulling him out of his thoughts. Ethan chuckled awkwardly. "Yeah, I'll just stick to water for now." As he turned to grab a glass of water, Olivia approached him. Her smile was warm, and there was a certain spark in her eyes that made Ethan's heart skip a beat. "Hey, Ethan, right?" she asked, her voice soft but confident. "That's me," he replied, feeling a bit flustered. "I'm Olivia. I couldn't help but notice you standing by yourself over here. Everyone else is busy, so I thought I'd come say hi." Ethan was taken aback by her sudden approach. Normally, he wasn't the type to be sought out by someone as stunning as Olivia. He smiled nervously. "Hi, Olivia. It's nice to meet you." They spent the rest of the evening talking, and Ethan found himself captivated by her wit, her sense of humor, and the way she seemed to understand him better than anyone else. She was different from everyone he knew. Free-spirited, a little quirky, but still very grounded. After that night, Olivia and Ethan started spending more time together. They went on casual walks through the park, grabbed coffee at little cafes, and even took weekend trips to nearby towns. Olivia, with her carefree nature, would often find herself laughing at Ethan's overly organized and meticulous habits. She would joke about how his apartment looked more like a five-star hotel than a home. "Ethan, do you ever just leave a cup out on the counter? I mean, the place looks like it's from a magazine," she laughed one evening as she sipped her coffee on his couch. Ethan smiled, a little embarrassed. "Well, I like things to be neat. It helps me think clearly." "You're such a perfectionist," Olivia teased. "I bet you have a rule for everything." "I do," he said seriously, though he could tell she was just joking. He was proud of his rules. His life was in order because he had control, and that control brought him peace. "I don't like clutter. It makes me feel uneasy." Olivia raised an eyebrow. "Uneasy? I think it would drive me crazy to be so organized. Don't you ever just want to let go and make a mess?" Ethan shook his head. "Not really. I think if everything is in its place, everything else falls into place too." Over the next few months, their relationship deepened. Ethan and Olivia seemed to balance each other out. His love for structure and her spontaneous nature. They made it work in a way that Ethan hadn't expected. Olivia would teach him to relax a little more, while he would show her the joy of a well-organized closet or a perfectly made bed. One evening, after spending a quiet night at his place, Olivia turned to him and said, "Ethan, I really appreciate how you take care of everything. It's kind of comforting." Ethan smiled softly. "It's just the way I am. I don't like to leave things to chance." I know, Olivia said, her voice a little more serious. But Ethan, you have to realize that life isn't always going to fit into the neat little boxes you've created for it. Sometimes things happen that we can't control. You can't always keep everything in order. Ethan frowned. But I can try. Olivia reached out and took his hand. I know you want to. But I don't want you to lose yourself trying to control everything. Sometimes it's okay to let things be messy. Ethan's heart ached. He had never thought about life that way. He loved Olivia, but part of him was afraid of letting go of the one thing that made him feel safe. His perfect order. As their relationship continued, Ethan became more and more attached to his routines. He would wake up at the same time every day, have a healthy breakfast, and spend the morning organizing his house. The evenings were reserved for quiet time, reading or watching documentaries. Everything had its place. But Olivia's lifestyle, while still organized, was different. She didn't plan every second of her day. She was spontaneous, carefree, and full of energy. Sometimes when they would spend time together, she would suggest impromptu trips, or she'd make a sudden decision to go for a late-night walk. Ethan, on the other hand, needed time to plan, to prepare, to ensure everything was in order. First, Olivia was understanding. She appreciated his stability and calm demeanor. But soon, small tensions began to creep into their relationship. One afternoon, Olivia invited Ethan to a weekend getaway. She had already packed a bag and booked a hotel room by the time Ethan had barely finished deciding on his clothes. Come on, Ethan. Let's just go. I've already made all the arrangements. We don't need to overthink it, Olivia said, pulling him out of his apartment. Ethan hesitated. But I haven't double-checked the hotel booking. What if the room isn't as good as we thought? Olivia rolled her eyes. Ethan, you need to stop worrying about every little detail. Just trust that things will work out. Let's enjoy the moment. But Ethan couldn't let go. He couldn't stop thinking about the uncertainty of the trip. He wanted things to be perfect, just like everything else in his life. When they arrived at the hotel, Ethan immediately started scrutinizing the room. The curtains are wrinkled. The bed isn't perfectly made. And the towels aren't folded the way I like them. Olivia was frustrated. Ethan, seriously. You're ruining this moment. We're here to relax, to enjoy ourselves. Why does everything have to be perfect? Ethan looked at her, confused. Because if things aren't perfect, they're wrong. I can't relax if I know something is out of place. Ethan, you need to stop, Olivia said, her voice shaking with frustration. This isn't about perfection. It's about enjoying the time we have together. But you can't even let go of your obsession with control. Ethan's heart sank. He had never thought of it that way. But I just can't help it. It's who I am. Olivia shook her head. No, Ethan. It's not who you are. It's who you've decided to be. You're so wrapped up in making everything perfect that you're missing out on life. And I'm not going to be with someone who can't enjoy the messiness of life. Ethan stood there, stunned. The weight of her words hit him hard. For the first time, he questioned whether his need for control was the thing that was keeping him from truly living. Over the next few weeks, Olivia distanced herself from Ethan. The distance between them grew. They still spoke, but their conversations felt strained. Ethan tried to fix things by showing her more affection, by offering to change his routines, but it wasn't enough. One day, Ethan woke up to find a message from Olivia. Ethan, I love you. But I can't keep doing this. I can't keep living in a world where everything must be perfect. I need someone who can embrace life's chaos with me. I hope you find the peace you're looking for, but I need to go. Ethan sat in silence, the message lingering in his mind. For the first time, he felt a deep emptiness. He wanted to be the man Olivia needed, but he couldn't let go of his need for control. The realization hit him harder than anything else. He had pushed away the one person who made him feel alive, who challenged him in ways he never thought possible. As the days passed, Ethan found himself thinking deeply about his life and his obsession with order. He realized that he had been so focused on controlling everything around him that he had never truly experienced the beauty of the chaos, the unpredictability that made life exciting. And so, Ethan made a decision. He couldn't change overnight, but he would try. He would let go of his need for perfection and embrace the messiness of life, just like Olivia had always wanted. Months passed, and Ethan began to rebuild his life. He still loved order, but now he allowed himself to experience the unpredictability of life. He started leaving his coffee cup on the kitchen counter, not worrying about the little imperfections. He went on spontaneous trips, not feeling the need to micromanage every detail. And although he missed Olivia, he knew that their time together had taught him something valuable. Life wasn't about perfection, it was about love, chaos, and finding beauty in the mess. Ethan Parker was no longer just a man of order. He had learned to embrace life, flaws and all.